Right, boy, then go for it. Get in, Naz. Get in. So Mike, you know, seemed to be very keen on trying to move things on with Jess so quickly after Leanne's departure, to the point where it came off quite desperate. Do we now see perhaps why Leanne got the ick for him? And my beloved best friend Naz had his first kiss today with Demi. But is she giving us Gregory vibes? Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, Murad_Murali. Buy some merch if you guys want to, and let's get into this video because we do have a lot to talk about because a lot of different situations took place and we just find it interesting. So we kick off the episode where we left it last night, the whole Leanne departure.
Was it a case of get really?
I feel like it was.
I feel like Sophie's journey is not ended.
But mine has.
And we see Mike and Leanne talking, and Leanne is actually very upset and irritated that she was not picked. She expected to be picked, and you know, I find that to be quite confusing. I'm sure a lot of people did, because Leanne showed no interest in Mike, and Mike was, you know, somebody who was definitely interested and, you know, in Leanne. So for Leanne to be so hostile and upset, I was like, how delusional can you be?
Like, I didn't want that decision to be on my hands. If I had to pick in that moment, which I did, I picked Sophie, and I can't go back on that now.
That decision is mad.
It doesn't make any sense to me. This is your karma. What goes around comes around, and it came very quickly for you. Pack your bags, make your way, and go back to Waltham Forest.
I think Mike made that decision because he wanted me out of the...
So, you know, at this point of time, with the beginning of the episode, I was just confused with her confusion, let's just say. But at the same time, emotions are very high, and people do get very carried away with, you know, particular situations, and this was definitely one of them. However, watching the rest of the episode and watching Mike's behavior without Leanne being present, I feel is actually very interesting, because you can look at it from two different perspectives. One perspective, why is this person always texting me, man? Can you just relax? A situation where he can come off quite desperate, where he's trying to do the absolute most.
If I want to put my hand there, I'll do that, you know what I mean?
Don't really have much respect for Luke, but then again, it's a game, so why would you? But he's continuously trying to move to Jess, saying, you know, I can see us somewhere, I wanted to pick you at the recoupling, you were my first choice, you know, I can see a future with us, I really like you, I want to be in your presence, holding her close, you know, rubbing her shoulders and everything, being quite territorial.
I'm gonna be a side dish. I'm gonna be a sexy side dish too.
Okay.
Did you just say, I'm gonna be a sexy side dish?
As well, and as if he's putting on a performance, but as also trying to lure her in. And I feel like he's doing a lot, and he seems to be very, very overtly keen, and I find this to be quite weird.
If I want to put my hand there, I'll do that, you know what I mean?
Because it's like, of course everybody has a game plan, but your game plan now is becoming very obvious to us, and you know, you are so desperately just trying to secure somebody so that you don't seem vulnerable anymore. And I find it just to be quite funny, because it does come off quite desperate and just quite sickly. Like, I just feel I keep on getting secondhand embarrassment for, you know, from your actions, and it comes off quite desperate. But at the same time, you can look at a different perspective. It's a game. You have to be up with somebody, and you know, it can secure your time in there.
So shocked. I'm so shocked. The fact that we've actually spent like 2 weeks together.
He's doing what he has to do, and he will steal somebody, and he's going for Jess because Jess is an easy target. He knows that there was something there beforehand, so he's going straight to that. He tried it with Sophie, but he's going straight to that. You can see how he's just so panicky since the whole Leanne situation, because he knows he's vulnerable, and he knows that Jess is into it, because Jess has not shut it down. Jess is entertaining all of it, because he knows that he is the type for Jess. So therefore Jess will allow X, Y, Z, and he's like, you need to show me your actions, show me your actions. So I do believe he could sway that way, and Luke obviously is getting very irritated by this entire situation, watching it all take place, and he obviously intercepts, sits there and takes her away, and you can tell that Mike is now pissed off. He's irritated, because when he wants something, he will do the absolute most to get it, and he set his eyes on her, and I do feel like it is coming off a bit sickly, and I can kind of see the ick now. I see a bit of clarity from Leanne's perspective, a little bit more, I would say, from just the behavior that Mike has displayed in this episode. I feel like he is literally pouncing on every single girl and trying to do the absolute most just so that he can stay in the villa. You know, it shows that he's not really genuine, like he's not really there for the person. Does he really find them attractive?
I feel like me and you already get on. I don't think it's a case of me trying to crack on with you, because me and you already have a good connection.
You know, I find that interesting. moving on swiftly, we have this whole Shauna and Sophie situation. Now, my thing is this. This is so interesting.
Obviously, I know the mood is down after recoupling and stuff. I just feel like Shauna's made me feel worse.
He's made Sophie cry now.
You know, in this, but when you're trying to defend these characters, you have to understand that the people that we are defending, like if I was defending Sophie, that doesn't immediately make it innocent, because she also is somebody who likes to stir and manipulate. I do feel like Shauna, you know, I do agree with the premise of what Shauna was saying, but I feel like her intentions were just different. And I feel like, you know, the fact that she finds it weird that Sophie might be with somebody else set aside from Connor. Connor was only there for 2 weeks. Does that mean that she has to walk off from a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be with somebody which probably won't last after, like, especially when he's been in threesomes and stuff with over 100 people? It doesn't make any sense.
Demi go, I would have felt bad on Naz.
But Naz was never forced into a decision.
Oh, good.
You know, with her putting this on so quickly, I feel like maybe she's playing it very tactical, and I can see some kind of controlling ways from Shauna, where I feel like people feel the need to answer to her, or she's like the mother figure of the house. I'm like, nobody made you in charge. Relax. And I find that just to be very irritating. Her and Callum won't last long, most definitely. You can see Callum is fed up with her because the way how she's very controlling and territorial.
Well, she needs to toughen up then. Why do you believe her over me? Why don't you go and couple up with her then?
Where she's like, you know, you always listen to Sophie, but not me. I don't feel like Callum does that at all. I feel like these two are very loved up individuals, as I just was saying. But clearly, you know, Shauna, she just gets very controlling. And when it does come to Sophie, you know, I feel like it was probably the wrong thing to say at that time, because emotions are very high and she begins to cry. Bear in mind, none of these tears were present when Connor left.
I just feel like Shauna's made me feel worse.
He's made Sophie cry now.
Me?
Well, she's crying. She's gone.
But these tears are present today. And of course, she was kind of manipulating Naz. But having said that and keeping it objective, when, you know, Naz did say to Jess a couple weeks ago, would you want to choose a good friend with me or choose somebody that you'd want to like or love or whatever? So perhaps Naz was in a similar situation than Sophie, and perhaps Sophie is being mistreated a bit differently here as opposed to Naz. We have to keep that in mind, and we have to remain objective. Having said that now, Naz was the only one to comfort Sophie. And again, that shows his character, shows how humble he is, the pious, the kindness, the gentleman within himself.
I feel like she's meant to be one of the closest people in here.
Place in it, you can always come and speak to me.
No, but that's literally just one person.
Everyone loves you.
That yes, Sophie was basically trying to say, drop your girl and save me, kind of do some emotional manipulation stuff, but he put that to his side and he still comforted her, and this in itself shows how much of a great individual and person that he is. Speaking of Naz, he did have his first kiss with Demi, and I feel like they were sitting in the corner, everybody's watching, and I found it a bit, you know, I found it to be cute, the chit chat, whatever, and they eventually kissed. It was a little bit of an awkward kiss. I don't know why. I feel like maybe because they didn't expect it, as Demi said afterwards, she didn't see it coming, but something about her, I don't know what it is, just doesn't stick with me. I don't know what it is. But I get this gut instinct. I think because we've seen it with Gregory, we've seen it with Michael and the Amber stuff, we've just seen it so many times that we're conditioned to seeing that, number one. Number two, I just feel like it hasn't even been so long in there, and I feel like she just can't stop talking about how much she loves Nats. And I just feel like she's set her eyes on that. She's got that game plan, that blueprint to go straight in for Naz. No other main options to play around with. Straight in for Naz. Just straight in there, get him, and then coast to the final. I feel like she might be doing that. I don't know. We have Casa Amor that's apparently starting this Sunday. It's coming quite quickly, but we'll see what happens, because apparently the Casa Amor this year, they're trying to make it to shake up everything. So we'll just see, but I'm happy for them because I feel like they do work well together. Their personalities blend, they're quite funny, they have good, very chat as well. And of course, everybody loves Naz point blank, period. So I feel like he is definitely winning the show, but we just need somebody along with him for that ride, very similar to Amber's journey as well last year. But I'm very happy for their kiss, and I feel like, you know, hopefully this will be for many more kisses, because I feel like I'm not somebody who dislikes Demi, but at the same time, I'm just being a bit cautious. That's all. I think it's just good to be a bit cautious, just to see where it takes place and where, you know, what goes on. Having said that, people said, you know, oh, this season's a bit dead, and then some people say, you know what, let's just wait for a while, it's too early. Within a couple of days, we're going to be halfway through the season. My issue with this is that there is drama. There's actually quite a lot of drama, and the first week was very entertaining as opposed to other seasons. But the issue with the drama here is that it's very short-lived. The narratives are not in depth. They don't build up. And that is the issue. For example, the Shauna and Sophie situation, that could have lasted for a couple of days. We could have seen some major intense stuff, but that was deaded out and the drama ended literally within the next scene. And that keeps taking place with all the stuff. The Rebecca and Shanice stuff ended within the next episode. It ends very, very quickly. It doesn't last long. Like, for example, the Laura and Wes and the Megan triangle from 2018 Love Island, that lasted for a while. Then with the Jack and the Georgia and the Lauren and Laura stuff, and whether Georgia kissed Jack or not, these things lasted for a while, at least 3 to 4 days. This is what I'm saying. The drama seems to be very short-lived and they're looking for the next thing to add in 24/7, and it does seem a little bit rushed, I'd say. And I also have to realize that, of course, the ratings have dropped and these islanders don't really have as many Instagram followers as the ones from the last season. They're not really climbing as much, of course, because of a lack of viewers and a different time slot, so it's going to be a different comparison. But at the same time, I have noticed that as well. Jess, I feel like she definitely wants Mike, otherwise she would have shut it down. And I feel like Luke is probably going to lose out on this if he doesn't pick up his boots and do what he needs to do. Shauna, I feel like I see you. I feel like I know what she's trying to do here, and I feel like she does come off quite controlling here and there. And although I would agree with the premise of what she's saying and the subject of what she's saying and the crux of what she was saying, I do feel like her intentions with delivering that message was just a bit weird. And I feel like she'd done this before, but she did say that Mike was a game player, and that's what we're seeing. I feel like Mike is a game player, and I feel like it just comes off very desperate. And it's like, be a bit heedless, don't do way too much, especially after Leanne has just literally left that day, because it seemed like you were never into her yourself. And it also seems like you just want to be with somebody for the sake of being with them, which means that you come off very, very fake. You just simply do. And Wallace, I don't know where the hell you were in this episode. You literally had 0 airtime. Your personality is probably drier than paint. And like, I don't know, like, I just not here for that. Rebecca as well, hardly here, and I'm just quite confused by where that went. And Shanice and Luke, I'm here for that relationship, and hopefully these two can go to the final or whatever, because I'm beginning to like Shanice again, and I feel like she's obviously a quite nice individual from what we are seeing. Let me know your thoughts when it comes to this review. What are your thoughts on the kiss with Naz and Demi? What are your thoughts on Shauna and Callum? Will they last long? Sophie's breaking down. You know, do you feel like she was in the wrong here or not? Let me know. Comment down below. Subscribe. Buy some merch if you guys want to. Click that subscription button, please. And I'll catch you guys soon for another video.